So this presentation, I call it Learning Analytics in Action, Empirical Findings from an Online Program Pilot. We kind of situated we call it action research. And I'm a quantitative guy, and doing action research was uncomfortable to me, but it was a great process for me to go through. So my outcomes that I hope you'll get is kind of understand a process that can be used to run an A4L pilot, and in my case, in an online program. The second point is being really trying to generate and gather feedback and documentation of what is the impact of A4L at your institution. So not enough to just kind of throw it out there, but really to gather evidence that it is making an impact on your students. And then I hope that you'll kind of come back next year wanting to share your own failures about what you've learned in using analytics. So a little bit about Boise State University. We are located in Boise, Idaho, which is a beautiful town if you've never been before. As of fall of 2017, we had about 24,000 students, and about 86% of those are undergraduates. I work in the eCampus, which is our fully online programs and courses. We have 20 fully online degrees and certificates, and about 43% of our students at Boise State are at least taking one online course. So kind of our analytics journey is that we've been experimenting with analytics for a while at the eCampus. We have been using kind of the built-in reports in Blackboard to create these retention reports that we would give out to people. And then earlier this year, we began implementing A4L, and so we've been in that kind of technical process this past year. And now we're really looking to how do we implement that to positively improve student success and retention in our online students. So, so the first thing we did is we decided to do a pilot project. That's kind of how we like to do things around our institution. So we partnered with one of our fully online programs. It's called Multidisciplinary Studies. It's a degree completion program. So that means that students who had kind of stopped out of the university but had taken a lot of classes, they can come back and they can take kind of a set of core classes to finish their degree. So those classes focusing on things like leadership and teamwork, but it's really kind of gathering all the credits that they have already and helps them finish their degree. So it's completely online. It's really focused on non-traditional students. So you can see some numbers there about how they're non-traditional. It utilizes a high touted advising model, so meaning that there's a pretty low ratio of students to advisors. So they call it like a white glove or a concierge service to help those students get graduated. We piloted it, A4L, in 7 courses with 7 different faculty, with about 338 total students. And our goals were to kind of have these things. So we wanted a set of sample reports that could be shared with other people who might want to pilot A4L, a list of best practices and lessons learned in the online student intervention process, a sample workflow for using A4L in a program, possibly any empirical data that would show the impact of the intervention, and a research report. So kind of this is our process for kind of setting up the pilot. So the first thing we did was we went to this pilot group and we kind of identified key information that they would need in order to, if they wanted to use analytics, what would the information that they would want that would be useful for them? So they identified some things. We took that, we looked against the existing reports that came out primarily out of SSRS in A4L, and we kind of did a matchup and said, hey, we think we can get you this by giving you this report. And then we did a few customizations, nothing super big, but said, hey, these are the reports that we're going to deliver to you. And then we talked about how they wanted them delivered to them. The faculty wanted information in a timely manner, in a way that reminds them that they need to reach out to students. So what we ended up doing is we set up subscriptions using SSRS. It wasn't the most elegant solution, but the faculty would get kind of a reminder with the report every week of what was happening with their students. Then we kind of went through with the program. We defined a workflow around how this information should be used. When in the semester it should be used, what should happen when a faculty member sees a report and there's some information about a student, who should they contact? And so between the faculty members and the advisors, we kind of worked out this cadence for how A4L should be used in a program. And then this is I think one of the most important things that we did is we wanted to, as you'll remember earlier, I talked about one of the goals that we had was to kind of document the impact of the interventions. And because we were just using A4L and its reports in there, there wasn't like an integrated system, a way of capturing what we were doing around those reports. So I mentioned before that we'd sent out reports on a weekly basis to the faculty members and the advisors. And what we did to that is we attached a little Qualtrics survey to it. And we just had them say, okay, did you do anything as a result of the report that you received this week? What students did you reach out to? What was the effect that it had on them, if any? And so, and then we also had a space for them to say, was there something that could be improved about this report? So it helped us kind of weed out some of those challenges that the faculty were facing in implementing the report. And we did a midterm survey with those faculty. Now keep in mind there's only 7 of them, so the n size is really kind of limits the generalizability of it. But most faculty found the reports useful, easy to understand, and accurate. 66% of the faculty felt that the subscribed reports were helpful, getting them on a periodic basis. But we also learned that some faculty just felt like it was noise. They were just getting this in their email and they were just overlooking it. We asked faculty which metrics were most important in identifying students at risk. So we had them rank those things. The consensus was that the number of logins was the most important for them, followed by minutes. Interesting, course grade was last. Don't quite know why that is. And it may be that, and that's one thing we learned in this process, that faculty kind of had a good sense of what was going on with the student's grade, and so they maybe didn't need that information. But other things like logins, that wasn't something that was immediately kind of seen for them. Faculty were asked open-ended questions about how A4L helped identify students at risk. They used a variety of methods, including the gradebook and performance dashboard. It helped in either identifying someone not on my radar or what I already knew. They were asked about the benefits of A4L as opposed to existing Blackboard tools. This comment, last comment, I'd like to know how long a student is working and interacting with Blackboard. This is not always consistent with the letter grade a student might have. A student of mine this semester is working very hard in the course but not excelling. This is interesting information for me to have in order to encourage the student and acknowledge his hard work or effort. And this is something that we wanted to dig into a little bit more, and I think we're trying to with the data is, a lot of times there's not always a kind of a linear relationship between minutes in the course and overall grade. It could be an indication that a student is struggling with a concept. If they're spending a lot of time and that's not producing results, then that may be an indicator that there needs to be some kind of change in the instructional design process with course design. So that was a useful bit of feedback that we caught coming out of that. Some future use, 56% of faculty said they were more likely to use, A4L in the future. And we got some feedback, and I apologize for skipping through. I just want to get to the meatier stuff. We did document interventions. The most common type of intervention that came out of using the A4L report was an email to the student, and then we have some different things. You'll notice that on the faculty side we had an option for no action, and that was usually because the faculty member already knew what was happening with the student, so they didn't feel a need to do anything as a result of seeing that information. So one thing we did want to do is we wanted to examine the possible impact of using A4L. And I give big props to my learning analyst. His name is Ben Croft. He's around here somewhere. He's a new addition to my team. He's been really helpful. And so what we did is we said, okay, if you'll remember, we had that Qualtrics survey. We were capturing, students that had received an intervention. And what I basically did was I created this kind of long Word document of all the students who had received an intervention, and I kind of followed up on their progress throughout the semester. And so what we did is we looked at those students who had received an intervention, and we wanted to know what happened after they received that intervention from A4L. So we kind of took a look at their activity level in the week that they received the intervention, and then we looked at 1 week after that to see if there was any change, 2 weeks, and then 3 weeks. And so this right here shows that so the mean difference is kind of, did their activity level increase or decrease after 1 week? And so you'll see, where's my laser pointer? I don't know how to do it. You'll see it kind of dips on the first week, but there's no significant difference. It goes up a little bit that second week, there's still no significant difference. But by week 3, there is a upward change in the amount of interactions that the students are doing as a result of that A4L. Now, or the intervention that was enacted by A4L. And that's an important distinction. We did not, coming through this, we can't like put anything solely on the shoulders of A4L and saying, A4L did this. This is all about the intervention process. And that was the thing that I've been struck by this morning, is that it's all about the intervention process. If any institution had the ability to go out and reach out to their students more often, we would see an increase in retention, right? But we just don't have the scale in order to do that. So what A4L can help us do is to identify those students that need the most help. We did pull some retention numbers just to see kind of at the program level, has this contributed to the overall retention? And looking at the students kind of year over year from fall to spring, we saw about 5% increase in student retention in both the online program and then the whole program. But this is the real impact of faculty and advisors working with A4L. It's kind of the qualitative stories that we were able to capture. So you'll see some of the things that happened here is, the second one, a student was struggling financially. An advisor was able to refer them to the dean of students where they received emergency funding for food. So as a result of receiving this intervention that was enacted through A4L, a student was able to get food. And again, it's very difficult to tease apart the effect of A4L and the effect of the intervention. But what we do know can happen is that A4L helps identify these students quickly. Like this student may have come out a couple weeks later and said, I'm just really struggling. They're failing their classes because I have no money, I need food. But if we have that information faster, that becomes more like, not necessarily life or death, but it's a crisis situation, right? And the faster that we can get to that student and provide them the help they need, the better off we are. So lessons learned in the process from this pilot. A4L is a tool, not a silver bullet. We kind of came in saying, man, this is going to change your life. And we just realized it's another tool that you need to use with the other tools that exist in your toolbox. Interventions matter, and they can also be a black box. I think Bill was talking about this earlier, is like, I know that I should intervene with the student, but I don't know what to say. And that's something that we need to look more into. More infrastructure for the interventions is needed. I don't want to keep track of those things on a document. We definitely need to have the data governance conversation, and we're starting to have that at Boise State. And then support, training, and workflows are needed. So if you have any questions about our pilot, I'd be more than happy to talk about them. But thank you.